Hello everybody, welcome to Bear in the Kitchen. Today we are going to be making some fabulous and simple grape jelly. Focus, focus. Let's get started. Well, with fall comes cleanup and harvest, and wouldn't you know it, got some nice looking grapes in there. Starting to rain though, so I'm going to want to get those quick. And let's get to making some quick grape jelly. Alright, now that I've got that quick little harvest, I'll just go through there, pick out any of the nasty ones, and I already see a few, and then we can get started. Alright, so since we do get an awful lot of critter traffic going through our grapes, don't really know a better way to describe it, what I'm doing here is I'm just giving them a quick rinse and soak in some water and some just regular white vinegar. Wonderful sort of disinfectant. This will get any, spiders or whatever off of the grapes before I start processing them. Quick and easy. Just a splash of vinegar topped up the sink and letting them sit for, I don't know, maybe about 3 to 5 minutes. Swirling them around, trying to make sure that that vinegar water gets in between those nice fat grapes. And then I'll do my sorting from here. Alright, now that these have had a chance to sit, I'm just going to go through them. Good grapes in the white. Not such good grapes in the black. This is probably going to take a minute or two, so... Well, looking at these side by side, I'm going to say I got incredibly lucky with the amount of usable grapes that I harvested. And I don't really have that much to toss. Good deal. Now I am going to give these one last rinse. And let them soak again for another couple of minutes. Just in case there's anything stuck to it from when it was all bunched up. I did find a few webs and such. And then after that, I guess it's time to run these through what I believe to be a grape seed press. Don't really know. We picked it up at a secondhand store for $4 and figured it would work. So I guess I get to find out. Alright, so here we have a $4 item that I believe to be for de-seeding grapes. I have no idea if it is or not. Never actually used one. But I'm going to put these few in here and just kind of see what happens rolling that pin around. Definitely getting liquid out the bottom. And I'm not seeing any seeds go through there, so I'm going to try putting in some more. Well, I think I'm going to be working at that for a long time. Well, I don't know if this is what it's for, but it sure seems to be working. Slowly. Alright, well here we are looking down into it now that I'm done. And you can see there's not a whole lot left of all of those grapes. But underneath it, gold mine. So what I'm using to set this is just basic Knox gelatin. I'm not putting any sugar or anything at all in here. Very basic instructions on the packet. Since each packet claims to set about 2 cups of liquid, what I'm going to do is I'm going to boil this down so that I've got more flavor in less liquid. Now I say boil, but in reality this is at just over medium heat. Just kind of reducing it a little bit. I'm going to let it go down to about halfway, I think. And then I'll start setting this up. Alright, slight change of plans. Even after letting that simmer down and get a little more concentrated, I've still got quite a bit of liquid, so I'm going to go with 2 pouches. I'll make some for, you know, quick eating jellies, and I've got a jar warming that I'll use for a spreading jelly later. Alright, so as most of you are aware, I don't necessarily follow directions as well as I should, and what I'm supposed to be doing with this is mixing a 1/4 cup of liquid with one of the packets of Knox, and then another 1/4 cup of boiling water. But what I'm going to do is I'm putting in 1/2 cup of my boiling grape juice, and I'm going to put another 3 cups of boiling grape juice in with that, just because I don't want any extra water in here after I've been going through all of this to try and concentrate the flavor. So, our first 1/2 cup. Beautiful color in that. Very happy with that. How's that for you? Nice color. Then come my 2 packets of gelatin. 1 and 2. And another 1/2 cup of boiling liquid. In this case, grape juice. Now it's important to stop at this point and stir this until it's fully dissolved before adding any more to it. So I'll just get to that. And then once that's basically dissolved, I'm just going to add the remaining 3 cups of boiling grape juice and let it sit for a bit. I tell you, smelling this, it almost makes me wish I was into making wine. And we'll just top that up to the 1 liter or the 4 cup mark. There we go. Give this one last stir. And that's basically ready to go. A little cleanup and I'm ready to set it. Alright, so I've got some lovely little ceramic cups here I'm just going to use. And I'll free pour that in, trying not to get too much on my towel. And we'll have some nice dessert jellies after dinner tonight. Then, as for the rest of this, taken one of my canning jars, preheated it with boiling water, and now I'm just going to put a little bit in there, and we can store it in the fridge for later. Oh, ended up with a little on the towel. Such is life. But basically, it's that simple. Now we just need to let this firm up and we can give it a taste. So here we are. These have been in the fridge for about 3 hours. And as you can see, they've set quite nicely. I almost think I should whip up some dessert topping or maybe get some whipping cream. Finish that off. But there you go. Quick and easy. Fresh, real grape jelly. Time to try it, I guess. Alright, well, I'll be honest, I'd prefer to try this on some toast or something, but unfortunately, the toaster is buried under green tomatoes at the moment. Look at that. Looks pretty good to me. Oh, very grapey. Nice tang. No sugar, just grapes and Knox gelatin. That's it. Very simple, very clean, and very delicious. So there you go, making fresh grape jelly right off the vines. It doesn't get much fresher than that. No sugars, no anything really than good old-fashioned Knox gelatin, which is really not much of anything. So share and enjoy. Thanks for watching.